Stilton lost it up the fourth journey full time. Achoo, achoo, achoo! It was a freezing winter afternoon. I was sitting in my porch wrapped in the blankets, 7 pairs of pajamas, 3 sweaters, 2 pairs of socks, slippers, a fuzzy hat with a pom-pom fuzzy canvas, a tail cover, and even wool long undercover. New York City felt like the tip of cold grapes. Peak. It was so chilly. Even a snow mouse would put a coat on. Despite the cold, and despite the fact that the mayor had told everyone to stay home, I tried to go out. It was my duty to be a journalist. You see, I am a very busy mouse. I wonder what the schedule. The most famous newspaper on Mouse Island. By now, I'm sure you figured out who I am. My name is Stilton, Geronimo Stilton. Tuesday morning, to get to the office, but the minute I stepped outside, I turned into an ice cube. It took hours for me to fall out again, and when I did, I discovered I'd caught the worst cold of my life. That's why I was home in my porch all bundled up. When the telephone rang, it was my sweet fur. Hello? Who's here? Oh, hi, sweet fur. What a surprise, I said, sneezing. Oh my, dear little Gary Kings, you sound terrible, and Sweet Fur exclaimed. You should take a steam bath with the water from Brimstone Lake. It smells worse than rotten eggs, but it's an excellent remedy. A steam bath? Yes, so you can breathe in the hot vapors. Just cover your snout with a towel. She began listing a bunch of home remedies. I listened for a few minutes, said thank you, and hung up the phone. It gradually rang again. It was my cousin Trap. Hello? Who's here? Stilton here. The animal student. Cousin, what a nasty cold. You should take a hot bath with mud from the sulphurous swamp. It smells like rotten fish. But it works. But from the sulphurous swamp? No, you didn't understand, I said, but I know that's what I said, but no, cousin, I muttered. Trap scolded me. Try not to mess this up. If you get the wrong thing and the curse doesn't work, don't blame me. I thanked Trap and said that I understood. I just wasn't able to pronounce the name because of my cold. I just hung up with the phone rang again. This time it was my sister Fia. My dear Gary Berry, how are you? And Sweet Fur told me that you have a really bad cold, she began. You should drink some vitamin C. The herb only grows on the cliffs, the Stanko Peak, and it smells like rancid rubbish, but it's a surefire cure. I thanked Thea for her concern, but I assured her that I didn't need any superfire cure, especially not one that smelled like rotten eggs, rotten fish, or rotten garbage. I just wait for the call to pass naturally. The phone went off the hook. For the rest of the afternoon, I got calls from Tina Spicy Tail, who suggests I use hot compress with stinky leaf that smelled like rotten cabbage, like Grandma Rose, who would advise that I eat fresh argo, which is a slimy giant snail. My last call came from my grandfather, William Shortpaws. He didn't suggest any hope we dies. Instead, he told me, "Stop complaining, grandson. Back in my day, let a little cold get me down. I get to work even if being driven in an ambulance and carried me in a stretcher." That was the conversation made me relax. I needed to drastic action. I turned off my cell phone, unplugged the landline, and screwed the doorbell, disconnect the intercom, and got into bed under a mountain of blankets. You see, that was my foolproof curling me in my nice warm mouse hole and sleeping for 3 days in a row. When I finally emerged from a bubble of blankets, it was completely healed. I looked out the window. The sun was shining, and even though it was winter, the street in New Mouse City was crowded with rodents. The cold front had passed. I listened to my voicemail. There was 30 phone calls from relatives and friends sharing the surefire cures for colds. There were 50 calls from grandfather William, reminded me of was a real editor with a true sense of duty. While I was weaker than a good stand of string cheese. Finally, there were 3 messages from my old friend, Professor Paul Vanford.